It's not often that we get to see a masterpiece unfold. And with Spy Family, it has been on Twitter, on Reddit, on social medias, TikToks, everything, of just how fun, how great, how entertaining it really is. And it deserves all of that praise, and it deserves more for sure. And episode number 6 was definitely evident of just that. And the reason being is, like, it has characters that are just so well written. And this episode proved that Anya is so unique and such a well written and well rounded character that she is just entertainment at every single turn that she ends up going through. And this episode, from getting her uniform to, like, basically from getting her uniform to getting ready for school to going through her first day to almost getting kidnapped to being trained by then you have her meeting the new students. You have her using her mind reading ability, and that same ability has her immediately read the different students that are around her. Then she's able to react to those same kind of reactions and immediately make these, not relationships, 'cause that's not the word, but make these initial impressions on everybody, from somebody who's the daughter of a CEO to now she wants to be her friend because of the reactions, to Desmond's kid, the person that is the quote-unquote target, now wanting to bully Anya. But at the same time, we all know that when we were younger, bullying just means you like that person, but you can't necessarily say it. So her making an immediate impression upon the target's son, and that's going to end up being something, because she's going to end up, like, wanting to just, like, ignore him, wanting to put him off, wanting to hit him in the face. And he's going to keep coming back for more. And then you had all this end up happening, right? And then to kind of, like, put the icing on the cake, you have her going into school, and it has an 8 and 8 system, which is the system that the school has is you get 8 stars and you're considered an elite child. You get 8 bolts, or 8 lightning bolts, and you're considered a bad child and you are potentially expelled. Well, because of Anya's actions, by hitting this kid in the face, and I love how when Anya was confronted about hitting him, she was like, well, I moved my hand and he ran into my hand. She's like, I don't know what happened there. And I like how she looked too for the old teacher dude, like the housemaster. She looked for him and she was like, he's not looking. And she just whapped him in the face. So she got a bolt on the first day, totally breaking Loid's spirit, giving him stress, anxiety. Homeboy's gonna go gray. He's gonna have to color his hair pretty soon. All the plans, the initial plans that Loid had, just kind of went out the window because of Anya's actions. But at the same time, yes, she did get a bolt, but she stood her ground, and, like, she has put herself already on a pedestal over the other students in her class, and she's now able to look down a little bit, which I think is gonna end up working out in her favor. Now, it might not fast track her to this 8 stars elite student kind of thing, but it will fast track her on a socialistic scale upwards. And I think that she will end up being able to accomplish the mission set forth for her, but not the way that Loid imagined it, like not being best friends. Like, I think the little boy is going to end up chasing after her kind of thing. So I think it will work out. The other thing I thought was really cool, too, is that Anya is now in a class, as Loid kind of pointed out to us. She is now in a class along with other students that are, like, the VP of this, or, like, the leader of the Secret Service, CEOs of military companies. Like, so she's going to get to rub elbows with a lot of children that Loid has interest in, because it kind of revolves around his world that he has. So, going back to my original point, I think Anya is one of the most well-written characters in anime. And when it comes to Spy Family overall, I am appreciative that I think it's not very often that we get to see a masterpiece of an anime kind of unfold in front of our eyes. Earlier this year, we got to see that same thing in a different genre for sure, in like that romance genre. We got to see My Dress Up Darling this year, and it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but nobody can really argue that that's like a masterpiece of an anime, like from character building to what it's going for and everything, which I won't get into it, but that's like a masterpiece that we got to see unfold between our eyes right here in the middle between. But right, we got to see it unfold before our eyes. And I think the same thing we're seeing here with Spy Family. The thing that makes Spy Family even more unique versus a lot of other anime is just the genre that it fits into, because it's like action, mystery, slice of life, comedy. It's like it fits into a lot of different subsets of genre, which makes it even more unique, because it just means that it's carrying a lot of different elements to kind of like flesh it out, essentially. Last couple of things I'll talk about too is I love Yor, and I love her taking on more motherly duties. I love her kind of becoming more of a mom, understanding that there's more to this role that she's in. And I love that she took the time to teach Anya a lot of these, moves that will essentially protect her. Yes, in school, yes, against evildoers, but then kind of for the rest of her life. And I hope that she continues to train her in these things, because obviously she definitely does need to be trained in the art of stealth a little bit more, so that she can be pulling off some of these things when necessary without being caught and getting a bunch of bolts. But I love that Yor is taking on these duties. And the bigger picture between, above that is Loid, which I talked about last week, but Loid is becoming a father as well, too. And I don't think he's necessarily thinking of it that way, but he's falling into that. I don't want to call it a trap, because it's not a trap, but he's falling into that role. So far, he's so deep that when he has to get pulled out, he's not going to be able to. Which that is the biggest picture when it comes to Spy Family that I find the most interesting, right? Is this whole season is a setup for Anya to go into school to complete Loid's mission and stuff. But like at the end of the tunnel, after they get out of the tunnel, what happens next, right? Or do they just disband the family and she goes back to the orphanage, Yor goes back to whatever? I don't think it's going to be able to happen anymore. Like, this is the family. Like, I don't think Loid's going to, even if his mission's complete, I don't think he's going to allow, even if he wants to, he's not going to be in a position to allow himself to disband this, which is going to be the most interesting if we get there, which I don't think we will this season. Potentially a season 2 or 3 or whatever that ends up being. I think we will get there eventually, and I'm extremely ecstatic and interested when we do end up getting to that point, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line. Because at this point, I think Spy Family is so popular that if the source material will support it, I think we're going to see Spy Family for quite a while. All right, those are my thoughts on today's episode. Fantastic episode. Anya was the rock star. She is the star of this episode again. Let me know what you guys think about this week's episode. And, of course, I'll see you guys next week for Spy Family Saturdays. Peace out, guys.